Hello and welcome to Calm Mind, a place where thoughts are allowed to slow down. You don't need to make anything happen or arrive anywhere. Right now, your only invitation is to be here. Just this. Just you. Just resting. Let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw release. Allow your eyelids to grow heavy in their own time. No rush. Let's close the door on the day together and begin. Tonight we're going to explore something that might feel deeply familiar. Something confusing and frustrating. Something you might have experienced but struggled to name. The strange phenomenon of rest feeling unsafe. Most people expect that when they lie down to rest, their body will calm. That stillness will bring ease. That stopping activity will naturally lead to relaxation. But for some people, maybe for you, the opposite happens. The moment you try to rest, your body becomes more alert, more anxious, more activated. You lie down and your heart rate increases. You close your eyes and your mind races faster. You try to be still and your body feels wired, tense, almost panicked. And this creates a terrible bind. You're exhausted. You desperately need rest. But rest itself triggers alarm. So you can't access the very thing you need most. If this is your experience, I want you to know something right away. You're not broken. You're not doing rest wrong. And there's nothing fundamentally wrong with your body or mind. What you're experiencing is your nervous system doing exactly what it was trained to do. It's a learned response, a protective mechanism, a pattern that made sense in your history, even if it doesn't serve you now. If these gentle journeys are meaningful to you, I invite you to like, subscribe, or share a reflection below. It helps other restless minds find their way here. But for now, your only task is to relax. Tonight we're going to understand why this happens. Not to fix it immediately, though understanding often begins the shift, but to help you make sense of this confusing experience, to remove the layer of self-judgment, to see the logic underneath the alarm. First, know that this experience is more common than you might think. You're not the only one whose body resists rest, who feels more anxious lying still than moving, who finds activity easier than stillness. Many people with this pattern have learned to stay perpetually busy, because motion feels safer than stillness. Activity feels better than rest. Doing distracts from the discomfort that arises when you stop. And then they feel guilty about not being able to rest. They judge themselves as high-strung, anxious, unable to relax. They compare themselves to people who can easily settle, who naturally calm when they lie down. But the difference isn't about willpower or character. It's about what your nervous system learned. What experiences conditioned your body's response to stillness and rest? Some nervous systems learn that rest is safe, that stillness brings no threat, that lying down means security and peace. Other nervous systems learn something different. They learn that rest is when bad things happen, that stillness is vulnerable, that lying down means danger, that staying alert is survival. If your nervous system learns the second pattern, then of course rest feels unsafe. Of course your body becomes activated when you try to be still. It's trying to protect you based on what it learned. So tonight isn't about forcing yourself to relax. It's not about doing rest correctly or overriding your body's response. Tonight is about understanding, about seeing clearly why rest triggers alarm, about recognizing the intelligence, yes, intelligence, in your body's protective response. Because when you understand the why, something begins to shift. The self-judgment lessens. The confusion clears. And you can begin working with your nervous system instead of against it. We'll explore what rest anxiety actually is. We'll look at how your nervous system might have learned to associate rest with danger. We'll understand the biological logic that keeps you activated. And then we'll begin, very gently, to practice offering your nervous system new information, new experiences of rest. New data that says, here, now, rest is safe. This won't be a dramatic overnight shift. The nervous system changes slowly, through repeated experience. But understanding is the first step. And tonight we take that step together. Right now, you might already be feeling it. The activation, the resistance to rest, the sense of your body saying no, not safe, stay alert. If that's happening, just notice it. Don't fight it. Don't judge it. Just see it clearly. This is my nervous system's learned response. This is what it does when I try to rest. You might feel tension in your chest, a sense of vigilance. Your mind might be racing through worries or to-do lists. Your body might feel restless, wanting to move, to do something, anything but lie still. All of this is information. All of this is your nervous system communicating. It's saying, I learned that rest isn't safe. I'm trying to protect you by keeping you alert. And you can acknowledge that. You can thank your nervous system for trying to protect you. I see you. I hear you. You're doing what you think is necessary. And then, gently, you can also say, but right now, here, in this bed, in this moment, I am actually safe. The old danger isn't present. This is different. Your nervous system might not believe you yet. That's okay. Trust is built through experience, not assertion. Tonight we begin building that experience. Here's the difficult truth. You need rest to heal. But your system treats rest as the threat. So you're caught in a paradox. You're exhausted from being constantly activated, from never truly resting, from the toll of perpetual vigilance. But when you try to rest, your activation increases, your vigilance intensifies, because your system learned, don't let your guard down. That's when danger comes. So you return to motion, to busyness, to activity, because that feels safer. And the exhaustion deepens, and the need for rest grows, and the cycle continues. Breaking this cycle requires understanding it, seeing it clearly, recognizing that both the exhaustion and the rest resistance are real. Both are valid. Both make sense given your nervous system's learning. And then, very gradually, building new learning, new associations, new experiences where rest doesn't equal danger, where stillness doesn't bring harm, where lying down is actually, genuinely safe. Tonight is one iteration of that new learning, one experience of rest that you survive, one data point that says, I rested, and I was okay. It's small. It's one night, but small experiences accumulate, and slowly, the nervous system begins to update its model, begins to learn, maybe rest can be safe, maybe stillness is possible. Let's look more closely at what rest anxiety actually is, at the strange, contradictory experience of needing rest but fearing it. You know you're exhausted. You can feel the tiredness in your body, the depletion in your mind, the weight of fatigue that makes everything harder. But when you lie down, when you try to access rest, something else takes over. An activation, an alertness, a vigilance that seems to come from nowhere. Your heart rate might increase instead of decrease. Your breathing might become shallow or rapid instead of deep and slow. Your muscles might tense instead of release. And your mind might go into overdrive, racing through worries, reviewing the day, planning tomorrow, catastrophizing about what might happen, anything to stay occupied, to not settle into stillness. This is the paradox. Your body needs rest, but your nervous system interprets rest as danger. So the very state you need triggers the state that prevents it. In nervous system terms, this is your sympathetic nervous system, your activation, alert, fight or flight system, becoming more active when you try to engage your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest, digest, safe to relax system. It's like your sympathetic system is blocking the door to rest, standing guard, saying, "No, not safe. Stay alert. Don't let down your defenses." Rest anxiety doesn't look the same for everyone. It has different presentations, different flavors of the same underlying pattern. For some people, it's primarily physical. The moment they lie still, their body becomes activated. Heart racing, muscles tense, a feeling of being wired or jittery, the body screaming, "Move, do something, don't just lie here." For others, it's primarily mental. Their body might be tired, might even want to rest, but their mind won't stop. Thoughts racing, worries amplifying, an inability to turn off the thinking. For many, it's both. The body becomes activated and the mind races faster. A complete system activation in response to the attempt to rest. Some people experience it as anxiety, a clear, recognizable feeling of fear or dread that arises when they try to be still. Others experience it as restlessness, an agitation, an inability to settle, a need to be doing something even though they're exhausted. Some experience it as hypervigilance, an acute awareness of every sound, every sensation, every possible threat in the environment, an inability to let down their guard. And some experience it as dissociation, a strange disconnection, a sense of floating or unreality that's actually the nervous system's attempt to escape the overwhelm of rest-triggered activation. Whatever form it takes for you, the underlying mechanism is similar. Your nervous system has learned to respond to rest with alarm instead of ease. This pattern creates enormous confusion, because rest is supposed to be calming. That's what every book, every article, every well-meaning friend says. Just rest. Just relax. Just lie down and your body will naturally calm. But that's not your experience. Your body doesn't naturally calm when you lie down. It does the opposite. And this makes you feel broken, abnormal, like you're failing at something everyone else can do effortlessly. You might have tried all the standard relaxation advice: deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, meditation, calming music, warm baths, and none of it works. Or worse, it makes the activation stronger. Because the standard advice assumes your nervous system learned that rest is safe. It assumes your body will naturally respond to rest cues with calming. But if your nervous system learned something different, if it learned that rest is when danger happens, then rest cues don't calm you. They trigger more activation. They set off the alarm. And when the standard advice doesn't work, you blame yourself. I'm doing it wrong. I'm not relaxing correctly. Everyone else can rest, but I can't. But it's not about doing it wrong. It's about your nervous system having different learning, different associations, different protective patterns. Here's where it gets even more difficult. The more you experience rest as activating, the more your nervous system reinforces that association. Each time you lie down and feel anxious, your nervous system notes, see? Rest equals anxiety. I was right to be alert. Each time you try to be still and your mind races, your system confirms, stillness is uncomfortable. Motion is better. Stay busy. So the pattern strengthens. The association deepens. Rest becomes more and more triggering. The activation in response to rest becomes more automatic, more immediate, more intense. And you might develop secondary anxiety, anxiety about the anxiety, dreading bedtime because you know what will happen, avoiding rest because you know it will trigger activation. This is why understanding is so important. When you understand that this is a learned pattern, not a permanent trait, when you see that it's your nervous system's protective response, not your failure, you can begin to interrupt the cycle. You can stop reinforcing it with judgment and self-blame. You can stop treating it as evidence that you're broken. You can see it for what it is, an outdated protection strategy that your system hasn't yet updated. I said earlier that there's intelligence in this response. And there is. Your nervous system isn't being cruel or irrational. It's being protective based on what it learned. If rest genuinely was unsafe in your past, if something threatening happened when you were vulnerable, when you were still, when your guard was down, then learning to stay alert during rest was adaptive. It kept you safe in an unsafe situation. It helped you survive something that required vigilance. It was intelligent given the context. The problem is that the context has changed. You're no longer in that situation. The threat that once existed isn't present now. But your nervous system is still running the old program. It's like having an alarm system that was set up for a dangerous neighborhood but is still running in a safe one. The alarm isn't broken. It's doing exactly what it was programmed to do. It just hasn't been updated for the new environment. So when rest triggers activation, your nervous system is saying, remember what happened before. I'm preventing that from happening again. It's protection. It's loyalty to your safety. It's your system trying to take care of you the only way it knows how. And recognizing this, seeing the protective intention underneath the uncomfortable activation, can shift your relationship with it. Instead of fighting your nervous system, you can work with it. You can say, "Thank you for protecting me. And now let me show you that here, in this moment, rest is safe." Now let's explore how your nervous system might have learned to associate rest with danger. Because understanding the origin helps make sense of the present. For many people, the association between rest and danger begins in childhood. These are the foundational learning years when the nervous system is forming its basic understanding of what's safe and what's not. Maybe you grew up in a chaotic or unpredictable environment. where being asleep or unaware meant you might miss important information, might not hear the fighting, might not know what mood your parent was in, might not be able to protect yourself or others. So your nervous system learned, stay alert, even when tired, even when resting, because danger doesn't take a break. Threats don't pause because you're asleep. Or maybe you experienced something frightening when you were vulnerable, an intrusion while sleeping, something scary happening when you were supposed to be safe in bed, a violation of the space that should have been protected. And your nervous system encoded, rest equals vulnerability equals danger. Never again. Stay alert. Even in bed. Especially in bed. Or perhaps you had caregivers who were only available when you were performing, producing, being useful. But when you rested, when you needed care, they weren't there. Or worse, they were critical, dismissive, angry. So your nervous system learned, being active equals connection and safety. Resting equals abandonment or punishment. Better to keep going. Better to stay busy. Better to never stop. Sometimes the learning isn't from overt trauma. Sometimes it's from what wasn't there. The absence of safety cues during rest. Maybe you never experienced someone calmly present while you fell asleep. Never had the experience of a protective, soothing presence that said, "You can rest now. I'm here. You're safe." Maybe bedtime was rushed, or lonely, or filled with your own anxiety. Maybe there was no ritual, no settling, no gentle transition from waking to sleep. So your nervous system never learned what safe rest feels like. It never got the download of, this is what it's like to be held, soothed, protected while you rest. And without that foundational template of safe rest, your nervous system defaults to vigilance. Because in the absence of clear safety signals, the default is caution, protection, staying alert just in case. This is particularly common for children who had to be hyper-responsible early, who had to care for siblings, manage adult emotions, be the stable one, who couldn't afford to truly rest because too much depended on them. For these children, rest felt irresponsible, selfish, dangerous because something might go wrong while they weren't watching. So they learn to sleep lightly, to wake easily, to never fully let down their guard. For people who've experienced trauma, whether in childhood or adulthood, the rest-danger association can be particularly strong. Trauma fundamentally alters how the nervous system responds to vulnerability, and rest is ultimate vulnerability. You're lying down, eyes closed, awareness reduced, defenses down. If trauma happened during a moment of vulnerability, the nervous system learns, never be vulnerable again. Never let your guard down. Never trust that rest is safe. This is why trauma survivors often struggle with sleep, why they might feel safer sitting up than lying down, why they need to face the door, have their back to the wall, keep the lights on. Their nervous system is doing exactly what it should do after trauma, preventing vulnerability, maintaining vigilance, trying to ensure that what happened before never happens again. And this makes complete sense. This is adaptive. This is your nervous system working correctly in response to a threat that was genuinely dangerous. The challenge is when the threat is gone but the protection pattern remains. When you're now in a safe environment but your nervous system is still running the trauma time program. Another source of rest anxiety is attachment history, the patterns you learned about connection, safety, and care in your earliest relationships. If your caregivers were inconsistent, sometimes available, sometimes not, your nervous system learned to stay vigilant even during times that should be restful, because you couldn't predict when safety would be withdrawn. This creates what attachment researchers call anxious attachment, a pattern of hypervigilance, difficulty trusting safety, and activation in response to separation or independence. And rest is a form of separation. When you rest, you're separating from the external world. You're withdrawing attention. You're becoming independent of external stimulation. For someone with anxious attachment patterns, this withdrawal can trigger deep anxiety, because withdrawal meant abandonment, because independence meant being alone with threat, because rest meant the caregiver might disappear. So the nervous system resists rest. It keeps you engaged, active, connected to external things, because that's where safety is. Not in stillness, not in aloneness, not in rest. Again, this is intelligent. This is your nervous system using the best strategy it learned for maintaining connection and safety. Sometimes the learning isn't even personal. Sometimes it's cultural or generational, inherited patterns that get passed down. If you come from a lineage of people who survived through constant vigilance, refugees, people fleeing persecution, communities under threat, you may have inherited a nervous system pattern that doesn't trust rest. Your ancestors' survival depended on staying alert, on not letting their guard down, on being ready to move, to flee, to protect at any moment. And nervous system patterns can be passed down epigenetically, through changes in how genes are expressed that result from ancestral experiences. So you might carry a pattern that isn't from your own life experience but from generations before you. A pattern that says, rest is not safe. Vigilance is survival. This isn't deterministic. You're not doomed to carry this pattern forever. But recognizing that it might be bigger than just your personal history can help explain the intensity of your rest anxiety. You're not just calming your own nervous system. You're potentially healing a pattern that's been running through your lineage for generations. So take a moment and see if any of these resonate. See if you can recognize where your own rest anxiety might have originated. Was rest unsafe in your childhood? Was there chaos, unpredictability, threat? Did you experience trauma that taught your system to never be vulnerable again? Did you learn that connection required constant activity, that rest meant abandonment? Did you inherit a pattern from ancestors who couldn't afford to let down their guard? Or was it something else entirely? Some other learning, some other association that your unique history created? You don't need to know the exact origin. You don't need to excavate every detail of your past. But having some sense of where the pattern came from can help you understand it, can help you see it as learned, not innate, as historical, not permanent. And understanding the origin is the first step in updating the learning, in teaching your nervous system something new. Now let's look at the biological mechanisms. How does the nervous system create and maintain this pattern? What's actually happening in your body when rest triggers activation? Your autonomic nervous system, the part that regulates automatic functions like heart rate, breathing, digestion, has two main branches. The sympathetic nervous system is your activation system, often called fight or flight, It prepares your body for action. It increases heart rate, diverts blood to muscles, heightens alertness, releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. The parasympathetic nervous system is your rest system. Often called rest and digest, it promotes recovery, healing, digestion, sleep. It slows heart rate, deepens breathing, releases relaxation hormones like oxytocin. In a well-regulated nervous system, these two systems work in balance. You activate when needed, then shift back to rest. You have flexibility, the ability to move between states appropriately. But when your nervous system learns that rest is dangerous, this balance is disrupted. The sympathetic system becomes dominant. It doesn't trust the parasympathetic system to take over. It won't relinquish control. So when you try to rest, when you create conditions that should activate the parasympathetic system, the sympathetic system actually increases its activity. It interprets the shift toward rest as a threat and responds with more activation. This is why you can feel more anxious when trying to rest than when busy. Your sympathetic system is fighting against the parasympathetic shift, creating internal conflict and heightened arousal. There's a concept in trauma therapy called the window of tolerance, the zone where your nervous system can flexibly respond to stress without becoming dysregulated. When you're within your window, you can handle challenges. You can experience emotions without being overwhelmed. You can shift between activation and rest appropriately. But outside your window, you become dysregulated, either hyperaroused, anxious, panicked, hypervigilant, or hyporest, shut down, numb, dissociated. For people with rest anxiety, the window of tolerance is often narrow, and rest itself can push you outside it, specifically into hyperarousal. Because rest requires dropping down into lower arousal. And if your system has learned that low arousal equals vulnerability equals danger, dropping down triggers alarm. Your system surges back up into high arousal to escape the perceived threat of rest. So you end up ping-ponging. You try to rest, which would lower your arousal. Your system perceives this as dangerous and spikes your arousal. You feel activated and can't rest. You exhaust yourself staying activated. You desperately need rest. And the cycle repeats. Understanding this helps explain why trying harder to relax often makes it worse. because trying hard is itself activation. You're using sympathetic energy to try to force a parasympathetic state, and your system responds to that pressure with more activation. There's another important concept from trauma research: neuroception. This is your nervous system's subconscious detection of safety and danger. Below your conscious awareness, your nervous system is constantly scanning the environment for cues of safety or threat. This happens automatically, faster than thought. When your neuroception detects safety cues, your parasympathetic system activates. You can relax. Rest feels accessible. But when your neuroception detects danger cues, or when it fails to detect sufficient safety cues, your sympathetic system activates. Rest becomes impossible. Here's the challenge. If your nervous system learned that rest equals danger, then the very conditions of rest, stillness, quiet, darkness, vulnerability, become danger cues. Your neuroception reads lying still not as safe to rest, but as vulnerable to threat. It reads quiet not as peaceful, but as need to stay alert because I can't hear what's coming. It reads darkness not as restful, but as can't see the danger. So the conditions you're creating to promote rest are the very conditions your neuroception interprets as dangerous. And you can't consciously override neuroception. You can't think your way out of it. This is why positive thinking or reasoning with yourself often doesn't work. Your conscious mind might know you're safe, but your neuroception, operating below awareness, is still detecting threat. Hypervigilance is a state of enhanced sensory sensitivity and awareness. You're scanning for threat constantly, attending to every sound, every sensation, every possibility of danger. For many people with rest anxiety, hypervigilance increases when they try to rest. Because rest means closing your eyes, reducing awareness, becoming less alert to the environment. And if your system learned that threat can come when you're not watching, reducing awareness triggers alarm. Your hypervigilance kicks in to compensate. You're closing your eyes. I'd better listen even more carefully. You're relaxing your body. I'd better scan for danger even more intensely. So you lie down and suddenly become acutely aware of every creak in the house, every sound outside, every sensation in your body. Your attention sharpens instead of softens. This is exhausting. Hypervigilance requires enormous energy, but your nervous system believes it's necessary. It believes this is keeping you safe. And the more you try to override the hypervigilance, to force yourself to ignore the sensations, to tell yourself it doesn't matter, the stronger it often becomes. Because your system interprets that override as you ignoring important safety information. So instead of fighting the hypervigilance, we have to work with it. We have to give your system evidence that it can reduce vigilance without danger occurring. That rest can include awareness without hypervigilance. Here's another piece. Your nervous system has a kind of memory. It remembers past states, and it uses those memories to predict future states. If you have lots of memories of safe rest, times when you rested and nothing bad happened, when stillness brought genuine ease, your nervous system predicts that future rest will also be safe. But if your memories of rest are associated with danger, abandonment, or activation, your nervous system predicts that future rest will also be dangerous. It's using past data to forecast present safety. And here's the tricky part. Each time you try to rest and experience activation, you're creating another memory of rest equals activation. You're reinforcing the pattern. This is why building new experiences is so important. Every time you rest, even if imperfectly, even if activation is present but you stay with it and survive, you're creating a new memory. A new data point that says, I rested and I was okay. Over time, with enough new data points, the nervous system's prediction begins to shift. It starts to reference the new memories alongside the old ones. It begins to consider, maybe rest can be safe. Maybe stillness doesn't always equal danger. This doesn't happen quickly. The old memories don't disappear, but the new memories can gradually become more influential, can gradually shift the prediction towards safety. We've been talking about activation, hyperarousal, anxiety, the racing heart and vigilant mind. But there's another way rest can feel unsafe. A quieter, more subtle dysregulation. Some people don't experience rest as activating. They experience it as overwhelming in a different way, as triggering a shutdown response. This is what trauma researchers call the freeze or dorsal vagal response. When fight or flight aren't possible, when the threat is inescapable, the nervous system has another strategy: shut down. Play dead. go numb, dissociate, disconnect from the body and the present moment. It's a last resort survival strategy, and it can save your life in genuinely inescapable situations. But like hyperarousal, this freeze response can become a learned pattern. And for some people, rest triggers it. When you lie down to rest, instead of becoming anxious and activated, you might become numb and disconnected. You might feel like you're floating, or like you're not quite in your body. You might feel a heavy, weighted down sensation, like you can't move even though nothing's physically restraining you. This is different from the peaceful heaviness of healthy sleep. This is the heaviness of shutdown, of your nervous system saying, this stillness, this vulnerability, it's too much. I'm going offline to protect you. And this can be just as distressing as hyperarousal, because you're exhausted and you need rest. But when you try to rest, you disappear. You lose yourself. You feel gone. Some people experience what's called a collapsed state during rest. This is when the shutdown is so complete that it feels like depression, like the impossibility of moving or engaging. You might lie down intending to rest, and instead find yourself unable to get back up. Not because you're so relaxed, but because your system has gone into such deep shutdown that mobilization feels impossible. This is different from the natural transition into sleep. Sleep is restorative, but this shutdown often leaves you feeling worse, more depleted, more disconnected, more lost. If this is your pattern, rest might feel unsafe not because it makes you anxious, but because it makes you disappear. Because stillness triggers dissociation or collapse that feels out of your control. And just like with hyperarousal, this makes sense. This is your nervous system's learned response to overwhelm. If rest in your history was associated with situations where you needed to disappear, to not be present, to not feel, to escape internally because external escape wasn't possible, then your system learned, rest equals shutdown. Some people don't just experience one or the other. They alternate between hyperarousal and shutdown, between anxiety and numbness, between too much activation and too much collapse. You might start to rest and become anxious. Then, when the anxiety becomes too intense, your system flips into shutdown. You go numb, dissociate. Then that feels scary, so you activate again, back and forth. This is called dysregulated oscillation. Your nervous system can't find the middle ground, the window of tolerance where you're neither too activated nor too shut down. It swings between extremes. And rest, because it requires vulnerability, because it asks you to be still and aware, can trigger this oscillation. You can't settle because your system keeps ping-ponging between states. Again, this isn't failure. This isn't you being broken. This is how nervous systems respond when they've learned that the middle ground isn't safe. When both activation and shutdown were necessary at different times. Just like hyperarousal has intelligence, so does shutdown. Your nervous system isn't abandoning you. It's trying to protect you in the only way it learned. If being present during rest was too painful, too overwhelming, too dangerous, if you needed to not be there, to escape internally, then shutdown was adaptive. It was mercy. It was survival. A child who can't escape a terrifying situation physically learns to escape it psychologically, to go somewhere else in their mind, to not be present to what's happening. Or someone in chronic pain or illness might dissociate from their body because being fully present to the sensations is unbearable. Or someone in an abusive relationship might numb out to survive the daily reality that they can't yet escape. So if rest triggers shutdown, if stillness makes you disappear, your system is remembering a time when disappearing was necessary, when being present was too much, when shutdown was the most compassionate thing your nervous system could do for you. The challenge now is that the situation has changed. You're no longer in that inescapable threat. But your nervous system hasn't updated. It's still protecting you the old way. If shutdown is your pattern, the approach is different from working with hyperarousal. You're not trying to calm activation. You're trying to gently bring yourself back online without triggering overwhelm. This might mean actually increasing sensation slightly, moving your fingers or toes gently, opening your eyes, noticing sounds, giving your nervous system cues that say, it's safe to be present. You don't have to disappear. It might mean taking breaks from stillness, not lying completely still, but allowing small movements, stretching, shifting position, keeping some engagement so you don't slide into full shutdown. Or it might mean building your capacity for presence gradually. Very short periods of stillness where you practice staying aware, staying in your body. Then rest actively, moving, walking, gentle activity that keeps you online. The goal isn't to force yourself to stay present when your system needs to shut down. The goal is to gradually expand your window of tolerance so that rest doesn't automatically trigger shutdown. So you have a middle ground available. And this, like everything else with nervous system healing, takes time, takes patience, takes compassion for your system's protective strategy while also gently offering it new possibilities. So if rest makes you disappear, if stillness triggers shutdown, know this is another valid pattern. Another way the nervous system can learn to protect. And it, too, can be worked with gently over time. Understanding these mechanisms, the sympathetic-parasympathetic conflict, the narrow window of tolerance, neuroception, hypervigilance, nervous system memory. All of this matters because it depathologizes your experience. You're not broken. Your nervous system is working exactly as it should given what it learned. These are normal nervous system functions operating in response to abnormal or difficult circumstances. And when you understand the mechanisms, you can work with them. You can start creating the conditions that help shift neuroception towards safety, that widen your window of tolerance, that build new memories of safe rest. You can stop fighting your nervous system and start collaborating with it. You can say, I see what you're doing. I understand why. And I'm going to help you learn something new. Now we move into practice. How do you actually work with a nervous system that treats rest as dangerous? How do you begin building safety and stillness? First, we start with validation, not forcing, not overriding, but acknowledging what your nervous system is doing. Right now, if you're feeling activated, if rest is triggering alarm, don't fight it. Don't tell yourself you shouldn't feel this way. Don't add judgment to the activation. Instead, simply acknowledge, this is my nervous system's protective response. It's doing what it learned to do. It's trying to keep me safe. This validation is important because fighting the activation creates more activation. Judging yourself for being anxious creates more anxiety. But acknowledgement, gentle, non-judgmental noticing, begins to create some space. You might even thank your nervous system. Thank you for trying to protect me. I see that you're on high alert. I appreciate that you're trying to keep me safe. This might sound strange, thanking your anxiety, but it shifts the relationship. Instead of anxiety being the enemy, it becomes a misguided protector, still uncomfortable, but not malicious. And when you stop fighting it, when you validate it, the intensity often lessens just slightly, not dramatically, but enough to work with. Next, we begin gently offering your nervous system new information, not demanding it believe you, not insisting it change, just offering. You can say, either out loud or silently, right now, in this moment, I am safe. The danger you're remembering isn't present here. Your nervous system might not believe you. It might continue activating. That's okay. You're not trying to convince it immediately. You're just offering the information. You can get specific about the current safety. I'm lying in my bed. The door is locked. I'm alone here. Nothing threatening is in this room. Or, the people who were unsafe are not here. The situation that was dangerous is over. This is a different time, a different place. Notice I'm not saying I'm completely safe and nothing bad will ever happen. Because your nervous system won't believe absolutes. And honestly, life doesn't offer absolute safety. But you can offer the truth. Right now, in this specific moment, there is no immediate threat. The danger signals my body is sending don't match the current reality. This distinction matters. You're not gaslighting your nervous system. You're not telling it that it's wrong to ever be vigilant. You're just helping it distinguish between past danger and present safety. One of the most effective ways to reassure your nervous system is through grounding, bringing your awareness into the present moment through your senses. Because when your nervous system is activated in response to rest, it's often because it's referencing past danger. It's time traveling. It's in a memory or a prediction, not in the actual present. Grounding brings you back. It says, this is now. This is here. This is what's actually happening. Feel the surface beneath you. The actual physical sensation of the bed or mattress supporting your body. Not the idea of it. The actual sensation. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. Is it cool, warm, neutral? Just notice. Listen to the sounds around you, not analyzing them, not deciding if they're threats, just hearing them as sounds. Air moving, distant traffic, the house settling. If your eyes are open, notice what you see: the ceiling, the darkness, the quality of light. If your eyes are closed, notice the darkness behind your eyelids. This isn't about making yourself relax. It's about giving your nervous system current sensory information. It's saying, here's what's actually here, right now, in this moment. And as your nervous system receives this current information, it can begin to distinguish it from past information. Begin to recognize, then was dangerous, now is different. Breath is often recommended for relaxation, but for people with rest anxiety, breathing exercises can sometimes increase activation. This happens when the breathing pattern triggers a sense of being controlled, or when slowing the breath feels like suffocation, or when deep breathing recreates the vulnerability that feels dangerous. So we approach breath carefully, not forcing anything, just noticing. Notice your breath as it is right now. Don't change it. Don't try to make it deeper or slower. Just observe it. Is it fast, slow, shallow, deep, in your chest, in your belly? Just notice. And if it feels okay, only if it feels okay, you might gently, very gently, extend your exhale just slightly, not dramatically, not forcefully, just allowing the out-breath to last a tiny bit longer than it would on its own. Because the exhale is connected to the parasympathetic system, extending it very gently can send a safety signal. But if it feels bad, if it increases activation, stop. Return to just noticing. Your system will tell you what it can handle. The goal isn't perfect breathing. The goal is giving your nervous system a small, gentle invitation towards safety. An invitation it can decline without judgment. Another practice: giving yourself progressive permission. Permission in layers, from where you are. Instead of trying to go from full activation to deep rest in one step, we take smaller steps. We meet yourself where you are and offer the next small permission. If you're highly activated, The permission might just be, I can lie here even while feeling activated. I don't have to be calm to be here. That's it. You're not trying to relax yet. You're just giving yourself permission to occupy this space even while anxious. Then, if that feels okay, maybe the next permission, I can close my eyes even if my body stays alert. Closed eyes don't require full relaxation. Small steps. Progressive permissions. Each one saying, you're allowed to be here as you are. You don't have to achieve perfect rest to deserve to rest. Over time, maybe not tonight, but over many nights of practice, these small permissions accumulate. Your system learns, I can be here while activated. I can be still while vigilant. And nothing terrible happens. And gradually, the activation lessens, because you're not fighting it. You're not reinforcing the danger by trying to escape. You're just being with it. And that itself is new data. Your nervous system responds to cues, so you can deliberately create cues that signal safety. This might be a particular object, a specific blanket, a soft toy, a photo, something your conscious mind associates with safety and comfort. Over time, your nervous system can learn to associate it with safety too. Or it might be a particular position, lying on your side instead of your back, facing the door, having your back against the wall. Positions that give your system a sense of control or protection. It might be sound, white noise, gentle music, a recording of ocean waves. Something that provides acoustic consistency, that prevents hypervigilance to every small sound. Or light, a dim night light instead of complete darkness, so your visual system can confirm that the space is safe without needing to stay fully alert. These aren't crutches. These aren't signs of weakness. These are tools. Ways of giving your nervous system the specific conditions where it can begin to learn that rest is safe. Everyone's safety cues are different. You get to discover what works for your system. What helps it shift even slightly toward feeling safe enough to rest? So far we've focused on individual practices, things you can do alone to reassure your nervous system. But there's another crucial element: connection. Human nervous systems are designed to regulate through relationship. We're not meant to do this alone. We evolved to calm in the presence of safe others. This is called co-regulation, the process where one nervous system helps regulate another through safe, attuned connection. Think of a baby crying. The baby's nervous system is dysregulated. Then a caregiver picks them up, holds them, soothes them with gentle voice and touch. The caregiver's regulated nervous system helps regulate the baby's. This is co-regulation. And we don't outgrow this need. Adults still regulate through connection, through being in the presence of someone calm, safe, attuned to us. If rest feels unsafe, sometimes what your nervous system needs isn't just individual tools. It needs the presence of another safe nervous system. Someone who can be with you while you rest, whose calm can help anchor yours. This might be a partner lying next to you, a pet curled up on the bed, even a recording of a soothing voice that creates a sense of presence. For some people, rest feels more unsafe when alone and safer when someone else is present. Because presence means witness, protection, someone who can watch while you're vulnerable. If your nervous system learned that being alone during rest was dangerous, that threats came when you were alone, when no one was protecting you, then connection during rest can be regulatory. It doesn't have to be active interaction. In fact, for rest, you want passive presence. Someone there, calm, not demanding anything of you, just there. Their regulated state helping stabilize yours. This is why some people sleep better when a partner is in the room, even if they're not touching. Why a pet's presence can be calming. Why even imagining a safe person nearby can help. Your nervous system picks up on the cues of another nervous system. If that other system is calm, regulated, present, it sends signals. It's safe to rest. I'm calm, so you can be calm too. But there's a caveat. The connection has to be genuinely safe. If the person present is themselves dysregulated, anxious, or if the relationship has threat in it, their presence won't help. It might make rest harder. So this only works with people or animals who are actually safe, where the connection is secure, predictable, non-threatening. However, for some people, connection itself triggers dysregulation, especially if your nervous system learned that other people were the source of danger. If your trauma was interpersonal, if the threats came from people who should have been safe, then the presence of another person, even a safe one, might activate your system. In this case, you might need to build safety in solitude first, to practice rest alone, where you have complete control, where no one can intrude or make demands. And this is equally valid. There's no one right way. Some nervous systems regulate through connection. Others need solitude to feel safe enough to rest. You get to discover what your system needs, and it might change over time. You might need solitude initially, then gradually find that connection becomes regulatory as you heal. Or you might discover you need both. Sometimes connection helps, sometimes it hinders. And learning to read what your system needs in any given moment is part of the practice. Even if you're alone, you can sometimes access the regulatory benefit of connection through memory and imagination. If there's someone in your life, or was someone in your past, whose presence makes you feel safe, you can evoke their presence mentally as you try to rest. Not in a way that avoids your actual experience, but in a way that provides support for it. You might imagine them sitting nearby, calm and steady. You might remember their voice, their energy, the feeling of being with them. And your nervous system can respond to this evoked presence, can take in some of the regulation that safe connection provided or provides. This is called internalizing the secure base, taking the safety you experienced in relationship and making it available internally when the actual person isn't there. Over time, with practice, this internalized sense of safe connection can become a resource you can access anytime. A way of carrying the co-regulation with you even when alone. Sometimes, if rest anxiety is severe, if the patterns are deeply entrenched, working with a professional can provide the safe relational space where your nervous system can begin to shift. A trauma-informed therapist, particularly one trained in somatic or nervous system approaches, can provide the attuned, regulated presence that helps your system learn new patterns. They're not fixing you. They're offering co-regulation. Their nervous system is calm while yours is activated or shut down, and through repeated experience of this dynamic, your system can learn, oh, I can be dysregulated and still be safe. I can rest and someone stable is here. This isn't a sign of weakness. This is recognizing that nervous systems heal in connection, especially when the original wounding was in connection. If you've been trying to work with rest anxiety alone and it's not shifting, if the patterns feel too big to navigate solo, seeking professional support is a wise, self-caring choice. Ultimately, the safest rest often happens in the context of safe relationships. Not necessarily during rest itself, but the presence of secure relationships in your life creates a foundation of safety that extends into your solo rest. When you have people in your life who are consistently safe, attuned, responsive, when you have secure attachments, your nervous system's baseline sense of safety increases. And that increased baseline makes rest easier, because your system isn't starting from a place of chronic threat or isolation. It's starting from a place of relational security. So building and maintaining safe relationships isn't separate from healing rest anxiety. It's part of it. Connection and rest support each other. When you feel securely connected, rest becomes safer. And when you can rest, you have more capacity for connection. They're mutually reinforcing. Tonight, whether you're alone or with someone, whether connection is regulatory for you or whether solitude feels safer, honor what your system needs. And know that you can explore over time, can experiment with what helps, can discover your unique path to safe rest, whether that includes connection, solitude, or a combination of both. Now we explore the longer-term work. How do you gradually train your nervous system to associate rest with safety instead of danger? The nervous system learns through experience. One night of rest won't erase years of learned association, but repeated experiences accumulate. Each time you rest, even imperfectly, even with activation present, and survive, you're creating data. Evidence. Proof that rest doesn't equal the danger your system expects. This is called extinction learning in neuroscience. You're not erasing the old association between rest and danger, but you're building a new association between rest and safety alongside it. And with enough repetitions, the new association can become stronger than the old one, can become what your nervous system references first. So tonight is one repetition, one data point, one piece of evidence that says, I tried to rest. My system activated, and I was okay. Nothing terrible happened. And tomorrow night will be another, and the night after, and slowly, gradually, the accumulated evidence shifts your system's prediction. This requires patience. It requires trusting the process even when individual nights feel difficult. It requires remembering that you're not trying to achieve perfect rest tonight. You're building a foundation of safety over time. If full rest is too activating, you can practice in smaller doses. This is called titration, working with manageable amounts. Maybe you start with just 5 minutes of stillness during the day. 5 minutes where you sit or lie quietly, notice your nervous system's response, and practice the tools we've explored. 5 minutes is short enough that even if activation occurs, it's temporary. You can handle it, and you're building the capacity to be still while activated without it becoming overwhelming. As your system learns that these short periods of stillness are safe, you can gradually extend them. 6 minutes, then 10, then 15. You're training your window of tolerance for stillness, gradually expanding how long you can be still before activation becomes too much. This is different from forcing yourself to endure long periods of activation. That can reinforce the danger association. But brief, tolerable periods of activation that you work with skillfully, those build capacity. Think of it like building physical strength. You don't start by lifting the heaviest weight. You start with a manageable weight and gradually increase. Same principle here. Resourcing is the practice of connecting with what already feels safe, stable, or positive before working with what's difficult. For rest anxiety, this might mean briefly thinking of a person who makes you feel safe, a place where you feel calm, a memory of a time you felt secure. You're not trying to stay in that resource and avoid the activation. You're building up some sense of safety first, so when activation comes, you have something to anchor to. It's like putting on a life jacket before swimming in rough water. You're not avoiding the rough water, but you're giving yourself support for navigating it. So before bed, you might spend a moment connecting with a resource, feeling into whatever creates a sense of safety or stability for you. Then, when you lie down and activation arises, you can reference that resource, can remind yourself, there is safety available. There is stability I can connect with. I'm not only the activation. This isn't about bypassing the difficulty. It's about balancing it, having access to both the activation and the resource, both the danger signal and the safety signal. Another powerful practice is pendulation, intentionally moving your awareness between activation and calm, between difficulty and ease. When you notice activation, you stay with it briefly. Feel it. Acknowledge it. Then deliberately shift your attention to something neutral or pleasant. A resource. A grounding sensation. Something easier. Then back to the activation for a moment. Then back to the ease. Back and forth. Pendulating. This teaches your nervous system that it can move between states, that you can experience activation and return to calm. That difficulty doesn't have to be permanent. And it prevents you from getting stuck in activation, from spiraling into it. You're maintaining contact with it while also maintaining contact with other possibilities. So tonight, if activation arises, you might stay with it for a few breaths. Notice it. Allow it. Then shift your attention to the sensation of your breath, or the support of the bed, or a resource you've identified. Then back to the activation briefly. Then back to the easier thing, creating movement, flexibility, capacity to shift states. Throughout all of this, self-compassion is crucial, not as a nice to have, but as a nervous system regulation tool. When you're kind to yourself about the difficulty, when you acknowledge that this is hard without making yourself wrong for finding it hard, you're sending safety signals. Self-criticism activates the threat system. It's an internal danger cue. I'm failing. Something's wrong with me. I'm not doing this right. But self-compassion activates the care system. It sends signals of safety, of being okay even while struggling, of being supported. So when rest feels difficult tonight, when activation arises, can you meet yourself with kindness? Can you say, "This is hard. This makes sense given what my nervous system learned. I'm doing the best I can." That kindness isn't indulgent. It's regulatory. It's giving your nervous system evidence that you're safe even while experiencing difficulty, that you're being cared for by yourself, even in struggle. And that care is what your system might have needed all along. The message it never got. You're safe. You're held. You can rest. I'm here with you. Finally, as you do this work over time, pay attention to small shifts. Because change is often subtle, incremental. You might not suddenly achieve perfect, deep rest, but you might notice that the activation is slightly less intense, or that it takes a few more minutes to arise, or that you can stay with it without spiraling. These small shifts matter. They're evidence of change, evidence that your nervous system is learning something new. So notice them, acknowledge them. Last week I couldn't lie still for 2 minutes without panic. Tonight I managed 5 minutes. That's progress. That's my nervous system learning. Because if you only measure success by perfect rest, you'll miss all the incremental healing happening along the way. But if you can track the small shifts, the tiny improvements, the moments where it was slightly easier, the times you used a tool successfully, you'll see that change is happening. Slowly, but genuinely. And seeing the change helps motivate continued practice. Helps you trust that this work matters. That your nervous system can learn. That rest can become safer over time. And so we arrive here, at rest, or at the practice of rest, with whatever your nervous system is doing right now. If these gentle journeys are meaningful to you, I invite you to like, subscribe, or share a reflection below. It helps other restless minds find their way here. But for now, just rest. Tonight you've done something important. You've stayed here. You've listened to your nervous system's story. You've understood its logic. And whether you're feeling calm or activated right now, whether rest feels easy or difficult, you've shown up. You've practiced. You've given your system new information. This is one night. One piece of data, one experience of being with your nervous system's response without fighting it, without judging it, just being with it. And that matters, because your nervous system is noting this. It's recording, I tried to rest. Activation arose. And I didn't abandon myself. I didn't make myself wrong. I stayed. This is new data. This is evidence. This is how change begins. So right now, whatever's here is allowed to be here. If there's activation, it can be here. If there's calm, that can be here too. If there's both, vacillating back and forth, that's also okay. You don't have to achieve a particular state. You don't have to be perfectly relaxed to deserve rest. You can be here as you are. Your nervous system is doing what it knows how to do, and you're gently offering it something new. The possibility that rest can be safe, that stillness doesn't have to equal danger. And whether it accepts that possibility tonight or takes many more nights to consider it, either way is okay. You're not on a timeline. You're building safety at your system's pace, not anyone else's. Let your body settle as much as it can, not forcing, not demanding perfect relaxation, just allowing whatever softening is available. Maybe your shoulders can drop just slightly. Maybe your jaw can unclench just a bit. Maybe your breath can deepen by one small degree. And if none of that is available, if your body stays tense and alert, that's okay too. You're still here. You're still practicing. You're still offering your system the experience of being with rest, even if rest feels hard. Tomorrow you'll wake, and the day will unfold. And tomorrow night you'll have another opportunity to practice. Another chance to lie down with your nervous system, to notice its response, to work with it gently, to build one more experience of rest. This is ongoing work, not a one-time fix. But each night you practice, each time you offer your system new information, the pattern can shift. Slowly, gradually, incrementally, but genuinely. Your nervous system can learn. It can update. It can begin to associate rest with safety instead of danger. And you're doing that work right now, tonight, by being here. So now, let yourself drift into whatever state comes, whether that's sleep or simply quiet wakefulness, whether that's deep rest or vigilant rest, whatever is available. Your nervous system is allowed to do what it needs to do. You're allowed to be exactly as activated or as calm as you are. This is enough. You being here. Practicing with your system. Offering new possibilities. This is the work. And you're doing it. Rest as you can. Be as you are. Your nervous system is learning. Slowly learning. That here. Now. Rest can be safe. I'll see you soon. May your rest be deep. And your dreams be gentle.